Well, I hope you're all doing well today and this week. This week's theme is Metta, or kind of unconditional love for yourself and for everyone. And we're going to do a little meditation that is just a nice one to do whenever you think of it. It's something that I teach to my adult and children classes, and it helps. Just something about the repeating of the words helps you to release any tension, and it reduces stress and just gives you a sense of inner peace. There's something just really nice about it. So we'll do that today. And as we sit getting centered today, I wanted to welcome you to take an easy seated position, or I was just reading today that a nice kind of comfortable way to sit sometimes, if it's too much to be sitting in cross-legged pose, is to place a pillow on your heels and just sit back that way. And that can be kind of nice, but it's not nice for everyone. It depends on your ankles and all that. But just wanted to give that as an option. Hero's pose on a cushion. So just find your comfortable position, whatever that is for you. And I invite you to just feel comfortable. Maybe close your eyes. Actually, I guess before we go into that, I saw someone just join. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see your name, but welcome. I was just saying that this week's theme is Metta. It's, I guess it's a word for a meditation, a yogic meditation on unconditional love and kindness toward all beings. And it's just a few simple words that you can say anytime, and it just is very kind of calming, and it makes you feel a bit good and actually helps de-stress. So it's just an overall kind of nice thing to do, and you can do it anytime that you think of it. So we're going to be kind to ourselves by finding a nice position that we can sit in that feels comfortable. And feel free to close your eyes or take a soft gaze toward the mat. And just start to focus your awareness on your breath. Just normal breath, no special kinds of fancy inhales and exhales, just normal breathing. And then just see if you can slow the inhales and exhales down. So your normal breath, but just slowing it down to help calm your nervous system, to help reset the fight or flight mechanisms, bringing you to the rest and digest portion of your nervous system. Nice, easy inhales and exhales. Feeling the air flowing in and out of your nostrils. Cool air going in and warm air coming out. Just taking a moment to be with that sensation. And just notice how your body feels, maybe scanning from the top of your head down through your entire body, noticing any areas where there might be a little bit of tightness, and taking a moment to just breathe into them, into that spot, those spots if you have more than one, without focusing too much on it, just taking a quick moment to relax that spot, breathe into it, release any tension, and then move on. And then coming back to your breath. And bringing your hands together at heart center with your eyes still closed. You can repeat this phrase either out loud or silently inside your head. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be peaceful. And by saying these things, your intention goes from yourself to someone near you, close to you, and then to all beings in the world. So we're reminded of our connectedness. And then if you'd like to take a moment to set an intention for your practice today, you can do that. Just thinking of something that you'd like for yourself or someone you love, or your community, or even the world, something that you'll carry with you as a thought, as a motivation, as a prayer, as a meditation through the practice. And then you can release your hands down to your lap and slowly open your eyes. Bring your chin to your chest, and then begin to roll your right ear over to your right shoulder. Bring your chin to your chest, and then roll your left ear over to your left shoulder. And just take a few of these half circles, drawing half circles with your chin. Bring your ears to your shoulder, chin to your chest. And if it feels okay on your neck, you can do some larger circles, drawing circles with your chin. Just gentle circles. Whatever feels good. And if you're drawing the chin circles, reverse them. And then come to stillness and bring your right hand, yes, is that right? No, bring your left hand to the mat and bring your right ear to your right shoulder, maybe using your right hand as a little weight on the side of your head. So you get a little bit of a stretch in your neck and feeling that stretch down through your left fingers up to the left side of your neck. And it's just a gentle stretch, nothing intense. Then release and draw your left ear to your left shoulder as you bring your right hand to the mat, maybe using your left hand as a little weight on this side. Letting a stretch down your right side from your fingertips up to your neck. And release, coming up to center. And you can always switch out your seated position if it's getting boring or uncomfortable. And then we're going to do alternate shoulder rolls. So start by drawing your right shoulder forward and then your left shoulder. Drawing little circles forward, one shoulder at a time. Making sure you're not holding your breath. And then reverse the circles, drawing your shoulders up and back, one at a time. And come to stillness. And draw your arms out to shoulder height and begin to draw some circles with your fingertips. And reverse the circles. Maybe any size circle you'd like. And come to stillness. Sorry, bring your arms out one more time. Bring them to goalpost position. And then draw both elbows toward each other. And inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And inhale one last time. And exhale, close. Then release your hands behind your back with your fingertips reaching backwards. And just take a little arch with your back, lifting your chest up toward the ceiling. Take a tiny back bend here. Feeling a nice stretch in your back and your neck, your shoulders. And then come on back up. And then sitting up tall, begin to make some circles from the hips. Long flat back. And again, any size circles that feel right for your body today. And then reverse the circles. And come to stillness. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Just flap your wings a bit, loosening up the hip joints, warming up the hips. And then coming to stillness, bring your elbows to the insides of your knees and with a flat back fold forward. And it doesn't have to be a deep fold at all. Just feeling a little bit of a stretch in your inner thighs and in your back. Whatever your body is able to do today. Then come on back up. And we're going to make our way into supported frog fold. So you'll have your feet together and your knees wide apart. You can take your feet apart for now and kind of roll forward, coming onto your knees with your toes touching. And then just make your way onto your forearms and sit back toward your heels as much as you can. So it's kind of like frog pose and child's pose and dolphin pose all kind of mixed together. And if it feels okay for you, you can sit back deeper and bring your chest down onto the mat, but it's perfectly fine to be up on your forearms as well. So take any expression of this pose that your body's calling for today. And then make your way into tabletop from here. Aligning your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And begin to take some cat-cows. Arching and lowering your back, breathing with the movement. And then come to stillness. We're going to take some jump ropes. So you'll move move to the right side, move your torso to the right side, and then lower your belly down, and then move your torso to the left, and then up, and to the right and down, left and up, making these circles with your torso as if it were a jump rope. And again, they don't have to be big circles. It just warms up the spine in a different way than the normal cat-cow. And then reverse the circles. And come to stillness. And walk your hands in towards your knees, rising up into a kneeling position. And extend your right leg out to the side, toes pointing in any direction that feels good on your hips. And then inhale, reach up. Take a few stretches up. And then coming to stillness, bring your right hand to your right leg and reach over with your left arm. Taking gate pose on this side. And then rise up to center. And exhale, bring your left hand to the mat, coming into supported side plank. Option to lift the right leg up for supported half moon if you'd like. And then lower your leg, rise back up, palms together, and exhale, hands to heart center. Draw your knee in, coming back into a kneeling position. Make your way back to tabletop. And take a few more cat-cows here. And then come to stillness. Walk your hands back towards your knees and rise back up into kneeling pose once again. And extend your left leg out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left hand to left leg and reach over, coming into gate pose on this side. Keeping your right shoulder open, maybe looking up under that arm toward the ceiling. And rise back up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring the knee in, coming back to kneeling. And then bring your hands to your lower back. Fingertips pointing down. Your hands are in your imaginary back pockets. And then lifting your chest up. Draw your hips forward, let your neck relax. Taking a little tiny back bend here, a little modified camel. And then rise back up. Sit back, knees apart, toes together, and make your way back into frog pose or any variation of it that feels good to you. And then make your way back up to tabletop. Finding your alignment with your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Tuck your toes, straighten your knees, lift your hips, coming into downward facing dog. And so bending one knee at a time, you'll be pedaling out your dog, warming up your calves and your hamstrings. Maybe shaking your head yes and no. And then come to stillness, drawing your heels toward the mat as you lift your hips up, chest reaching towards your thighs, and breathe. Take a couple of inhales and exhales here. And then slowly walk your feet up towards your hands, coming into a forward fold. Bending your knees as much as you need to get into that fold. And then maybe grabbing opposite elbows and taking a ragdoll. And your feet can be as wide apart as they need to feel comfortable. Crown of your head's reaching toward the mat to get a nice stretch in your back. And then release your hands and slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time. Reach up, inhale, extend your arms up for extended mountain pose. And then let your shoulders slide away from your ears, relaxing away even as your fingertips continue to reach toward the ceiling. We're going to take a couple of moon salutations from here. So bringing your hands together, draw them to heart center, and allow them to reach all the way down to the floor. Step your right foot back, coming down onto your right knee for a low lunge. Inhale your arms up, reaching up. And then exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step the back foot to meet, front foot to meet the back, coming into tabletop. Sit back into frog or child's pose. And then walk your hands back towards your knees, rising up into a kneeling position, reaching your arms up. And then exhale, hands come down, coming back into tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, downward facing dog. And then step your right foot forward. This time, left knee comes to the mat. Rise up, arms reach up. And exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toe, lift to the back knee, and step the back foot to meet the front, coming into another forward fold. And then slowly rise up, one vertebra at a time. Reaching up and exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Step the left foot back, coming to your left knee. Rise up, reach up for low lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step the front foot back, coming into tabletop, and sit back into child's pose or frog pose. Come back to tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. And this time step the left foot forward. Right foot forward, left knee comes to the mat. Inhale, reach up. Is that right? Okay, whatever the opposite is. And then exhale down, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, and step the back foot to meet the front. And inhale, slowly rise up, stacking the vertebrae on top of one another. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Interlace your fingers and release your forefingers. Arms come alongside your ears. Feet are aligned comfortably under your hips, and firmly planted into the mat. Reach up and take a bend to the right. Keeping your ears aligned with your arms and keeping your left shoulder open. Rise up and reach up. And exhale to the left. Again, keeping the arms alongside the ears if that's comfortable. Keeping your right shoulder open, not collapsing in. And rise back up. Release your hands down. And bringing your hands to your lower back one more time. We're going to do a standing modified camel. So lifting the chest up, elbows drawing toward one another, hips reaching forward. Take a little back bend here. Breathing, relaxing your neck, lifting the chest. And then rise back up. Okay, and then stepping your feet apart a bit, we're going to take some empty coat sleeves. Just swinging the arms from side to side, letting your hands tap your body wherever it feels good. And then coming to stillness, turn your toes outward. Maybe move your feet a little farther apart. So we prepare for yogic squat. So bringing the hands together at heart center. Keep your back long and tall. Begin to bend your knees as you sit down, coming into a yogic squat. Again, adjusting the feet as needed. Just seeing how far you can sit down comfortably. Maybe moving side to side, warming up the hips. Maybe bring the elbows to the insides of the knees if that's comfortable. But keeping the chest up no matter what position you're in. And then rise back up, reach up, and exhale your hands down. Inhale, reach up to extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to tabletop. And press back into child's pose or frog pose, just for a couple of breaths. Come on back to tabletop and tuck your toes, lift your knees, downward facing dog one more time. Again, feel free to pedal out your feet again if that feels good. And then come to stillness and walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into another forward fold. Again, bending your knees as much as you need to. Get a nice stretch in your back. Feet can be as wide apart as you need them to be comfortable. And then slowly rise up, reaching up. Inhaling and exhaling the ears, shoulders away from the ears, relax them. And then bringing your hands down, once again, hands to lower back as you take a little back bend. Lifting the chest up as the hips draw forward for modified camel standing version. And then rise back up and stepping your feet out slightly. Take another empty coat sleeves just for a couple of swings. And then coming to stillness, turn your toes out, bring your feet slightly apart as we get ready for another yogic squat. Bring the hands to heart center and slowly sitting down into your yogic squat. And again, feel free to sway side to side if that feels good, warming up the hips. And then bring your hands down to the floor as you lift your hips up. Maybe walking your feet out a little farther so that you're in a forward fold. And then bend into your left knee and into your right knee. Just kind of swaying side to side, bending one knee at a time. Okay, and then bringing your hands to your hips, rise up with a flat back. And heel toe your feet together. Coming back into mountain pose at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, step your right foot back, coming into warrior two. So arms are shoulder height, front knees bent. Back heel, back outer edge of the back foot is aligned with the back of the mat. For full expression, your front heel is aligned with the middle of your back foot, but if that's makes too much of a balance challenge, you can always adjust the width of your feet. The farther apart your feet, the stabler your base. And look out over your front fingers. And bring the front forearm, bring the front forearm to your front thigh as you swing the back arm down and up and over, coming into side angle. So your body is one straight line from the tips of your right fingers down to the outer edge of your right foot. Try not to collapse into that front forearm. See if you can put as little weight on that arm as possible. And then swing your arms back to warrior two, looking out over your front fingers. Flip the front palm and reach up as you reach back, coming into reverse warrior. And your back hands can be on your back thigh, or maybe you can bring it to your waist to get a little deeper stretch, whatever your body is up for today. And then rise back to warrior two and straighten your front knee and reach forward and open up for triangle pose. So your right arm is coming straight up in the air and your left hand can come down to your left thigh or shin or ankle, whatever is accessible for you. If we were in a studio and had blocks, you could rest your hand on a block, but your leg will do too. And then rise back up and lower your hands. Pivot your back foot so that it's, so both feet are facing the front of your mat. Coming into a high lunge, you'll reach your arms up toward the sky and the back knee is straight and lifted, front knee is bent. So this is high lunge. And then lower your hands and step your back foot in so it's about 18 inches behind the front foot. And again, the feet are on two different tracks, so the closer together they are in alignment, the more the balance challenge, the farther apart, the easier the balance. So both sets of toes are facing forward. And bring your hands to your hips. We're going to set up for pyramid pose. So with a flat back, begin to fold forward till your torso is parallel to the mat. And you can have a slight bend in your front knee to keep it from locking out. And you can stay here, or you can start to draw the top of your head toward the ground. Hands can come to your shin or your ankle or the floor, or a block if you have one. And just let the crown of your head relax toward the mat. And then bringing your hands back to your hips, rise up with a flat back and step the back foot to meet the front. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. And just let your torso hang, maybe taking another ragdoll. Bending your knees as much as you need to. And release your hands and slowly rise up. Reach up, palms together, and exhale, hands to heart center. This time, step your left foot back, taking warrior two on this side. So again, weight of your back foot is in the outer edge of that foot. Front knee is bent, and you should be able to see your big toe. Your arms at the same height. Looking at over your front fingers and feeling really strong in your warrior. Then bring your front forearm onto your front thigh as you take your back arm and swing it down and up and over onto an angle so that you come into side angle. Again, feeling a straight line from the tips of your fingers to the outer edge of your left foot. Tips of your left fingers to the outer edge of your left foot. And rotate your arms back to warrior two. Feeling strong in your warrior. And then flip the front palms, reach up as you reach back with your left hand to your left leg. And again, you can bring that hand, left hand to your waist for a little deeper stretch if that feels good. Maybe even wrap that arm around, grabbing your opposite hip with your fingers. Or you can just do a regular old reverse warrior two. And then come on back to warrior two. Then straighten the front leg and reach forward. Open up into triangle pose on this side. Feeling as if you're leaning against a wall. Flat back. Fingertips reaching up toward the ceiling. And again, lower hand coming wherever it's comfortable for you. And then rise back up. Release your hands down and pivot your back foot so that both feet are facing the front of the mat. You're on the toes of the back foot as you reach up and sink down, bending the front knee as you lift the back knee. Coming into high crescent lunge. And lower your hands and step the back foot in to about 18 inches behind the front foot. Setting up one more time for pyramid pose. And again, your feet can be closer or farther apart. Hands come to your waist or hips and then fold forward from the hips, flat back. And you can stay here or option to continue down, bring the hands to the shins, ankles, or floor, and let the crown of your head reach down. And then bringing your hands to your hips, rise back up. And step the back foot to meet the front. Draw your shoulders up towards your ears and then allow your shoulder blades to slide down your back, palms facing forward, feet comfortable distance apart. Taking a moment here in mountain pose. And now we're going to move into tree pose. So you're welcome to find a table or a wall for balance if you'd like. So we're going to start by shifting the weight into our right leg. So feeling really planted in your right leg. Feeling rooted down all four corners of your leg. And then lift the kneecap and engage the quadricep. And come up onto the toes of your left foot. Now bring your hands to heart center. And draw the knee out to the side so that you're tripoding your feet. And you can stay like this. This is a legitimate tree. Or you can bring the bottom of your foot to the inner calf or the inner thigh, just avoiding the knee area. And again, feel free to use a table or a wall for balance if that's something you'd like today. And once you're in your tree, just find a spot, an unmoving spot, something that you can focus on. And as you feel yourself wobbling around inevitably, just go with that. Knowing that balance is not an end point, it's a process. And knowing that every day is different as far as balance, and that each side of your body will be very different too. Just stay here a couple more breaths. And then begin to draw your knee forward and release it down. You can shake your legs out, or you can just kind of stand here and let your muscles reset themselves on their own. If you do the not shaking out, you'll feel almost like the rush of the chemicals moving out of your muscles, the lactic acid rebalancing. When we use a muscle repeatedly or for a long period of time, we start to build up lactic acid, which can eventually lead to the breakdown of the muscles. So we need these rest periods, including shavasana, to help rebalance the whole system. Okay, and then shift your weight into your left leg this time. Again, we're feeling really planted in that foot, lifting the kneecap, engaging the quadricep, and coming onto the right toes. Bring the right knee out to the side, tripoding the toes, and then bring the foot up, maybe using a table, maybe the foot comes up higher, whatever is in your practice. And again, finding your drishti, your unmoving spot. And this time, if you'd like, maybe grow your branches, reaching up like a tree. I can hear a woodpecker in my backyard eating away at a tree. And then if your branches are grown, bring them back to heart center, knee comes to center, and release. And again, you can shake out, or you can just kind of slowly let your body find this equilibrium on its own. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. And exhale, make your way back to tabletop. And knees, you can take a child's pose here or frog pose, knees together, knees apart, whatever feels good. And then walk your hands back towards your knees, making your way into hero's pose. And again, you can grab your pillow if you'd like, or a cushion or blanket to sit on. Sitting up in hero's pose. And just taking a few breaths here with a long, tall spine. Hands on your thighs. And then sitting up, you can move your pillow aside. We're going to take that modified camel one more time, bringing the hands to the lower back with your fingertips facing downward. Lifting the chest up as you arch back, hips come forward. And if full camel's in your practice, please feel free to take that. But otherwise, modified camel is a nice back bend too, in its own right. And then rise back up and sit back into hero's pose. And make your way into an easy seated pose with the bottoms of your feet together, Baddha Konasana, like we did in the beginning of class. So once again, flapping your wings, noticing any difference in your hips between now and the beginning of class. And once again, taking a forward fold, only as far as is comfortable. And then rise back up. And we're going to do a modified pigeon pose. So I'm trying to figure out how to set this up best. But with regular pigeon pose, you bend your front knee and extend your back leg back. But with a modified, actually you You'll bend your left knee as well as your right knee. So they're both kind of facing off to your right side. And bring your pillow under your left hip. So, and you can do, if regular pigeon pose works for your body, you're welcome to do that too. But this modified one's easier on the lower back and is more spacious. So, so this one's good for pregnant people, people with lower back issues, hip issues. So rather than going forward over the front leg, you'll be on an angle. So just the way that your torso is kind of facing anyway, you're going to bring yourself down over your left foot, left shin. And you can stay on your hands, or you can come to your forearms, or you can bring your head to the mat, whatever expression of this feels good for you. And always feel free to adjust if anything feels awkward or uncomfortable. And then rise up. We're going to switch sides. So removing the pillow. This time bend your right leg in front of you, left leg stacked behind it so that you're facing the shin of your right leg. And then bringing the pillow under your right hip this time. Fold forward over that right leg, either coming to your hands or forearms or to the ground. And then rise back up. Move your pillow out to the side for later, for Shavasana. And we're going to make your way onto your back with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, setting it for bridge pose. So your hands will be along by your side. Walk your feet in as close to your body as you can, and then begin to lift your hips up toward the sky. Keep your knees moving toward one another, not splaying out. Just taking a bridge here. It's a little back bend. And then slowly lower down. And walk your feet out to the edge of your mat and windshield wiper your legs. And then walk your feet back toward each other. Walk them in toward your hips once again and lift your hips up. Coming into bridge pose one more time. Keep lifting the hips. And then slowly lower them down one vertebra at a time. Walk your feet out to the edges of your mat and windshield wiper your legs one more time. And then come to stillness, walk your feet back together and come up onto your forearms, kind of under your torso. And your knees can stay bent, or you can extend your legs long, whatever feels okay to you. We're going to take modified fish pose, or for those of you who've been taking my class for the last few weeks, we'll also know it as the destroyer of all diseases. That's what they actually call it in yogic tradition, which is interesting. So you'll be on your forearms, chest lifted and your neck is just parallel to the mat. It's a tiny little back bend. And if you want to do full expression of this pose, you walk your forearms under your back and let the top of your head reach the mat. But if that's too much, you're welcome to do the modified pose, where your arms are along your sides, palms down. Neck is just parallel to the mat. And breathe into it. If your legs are extended, maybe point your toes. And then make your way down from fish pose. Bend your knees once again and windshield wipe your legs. Maybe bring your hands over your head. And then roll onto your side, making your way back up to an easy seated position. Again, if you're pregnant or have lower back issues, you can raise yourself up on a couple of pillows so that your torso is propped up as we get ready for Shavasana. And you can also be on your side. I know that for me, sometimes when my allergies are kicking up, if I lie on my back, I just can't breathe very well. So side can be good for that, with the knees or legs kind of staggered. But we're going to start with just a couple of minutes of Supta Baddha Konasana here. So you can be either flat on the mat or have your torso propped up. Bottoms of your feet come together. One hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And just breathe. Feeling the rise and fall of your belly and your chest. Feeling your heart beating under your hand. Relaxing into the pose. And then release your hands and bring your knees back together. And again, you can roll over onto one side for Shavasana, or you can remain on your back. Sometimes it feels nice to prop a pillow under your knees. So do whatever you need to do to get comfortable in your Shavasana. And just allow your body to release any tension. Maybe move your jaw from side to side. And then bringing your attention to your left foot. Imagine that you can focus in on one little cell in that foot. And notice the vibration of that cell, the vibration of the atoms in it. See if you can feel that, even if it's just in your imagination. And then begin to feel the vibration of your entire left foot. And then bring your attention to your right foot and see if you can find a little vibrating cell in that foot. Then extend your awareness to your entire right foot and just feel or imagine all the cells vibrating in that foot. And bring your attention to your left leg. And feel your left leg vibrating. The energy, the life energy running through it. And then bring your focus to your right leg. And feel the life energy running through your right leg. And after about an hour of yoga, you should have a lot of energy coursing through your body at this point. And then bring your attention to your lower back. Feel the energy there. And your upper back. And bring your attention to your abdomen. And your chest. And then notice the energy running through your left hand. And then your right hand. And then feel the energy in your left arm. And your right arm. And then just feel the energy in your shoulders. All the cells vibrating, full of life. In your neck. And your ears. Your face. And the back of your head. And then the top of your head. Just take a moment to notice. Notice how this feels. And then bring your attention to your breath. Just normal breathing, coming back to the breath that we started with. Just allow yourself to relax. We'll stay here in Shavasana for a couple of minutes. I'll bring you back out with my voice. You can begin to bring movement back to your fingers and toes, circling your ankles and wrists, moving your head from side to side. Then take a full body stretch. When you're ready, draw your knees towards your chest and give yourself a little hug. And roll onto your favorite side if you're not already there, coming into a fetal position, using your arm as a pillow. Love is not just the intention to love, but the capacity to reduce suffering and offer peace and happiness. The practice of love increases our forbearance, our capacity to be patient and embrace difficulties and pain. Thich Nhat Hanh. When you're ready, bring your hands to heart center, your thumb knuckles touching your chest. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up on the mat, for showing yourself some loving kindness. And if you set an intention in the beginning of the class, you can take a moment to revisit it. And then bringing your thumb knuckles up to the center of your forehead, the seat of the third eye, center of intuition and knowledge. The light and love in me honors and respects and acknowledges the light and love in all of you. Thank you for being here today. Namaste.